Hey guys, so my name is Mickey, I'm one of the owners of Just Go Live Gym. I wanted to talk to you today about a few things. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. So one of the things that was huge for me in my overall transformation, as those of you who have been with us before know, that my physical transformation leading up to this point obviously had a lot to do with dietary change and then working out or becoming more active, just being, an overall taking pride in what I put in my body and what I do with my body. But the thing that has ultimately led to me being who I am today wasn't necessarily just a change in the way that I moved or what I ate. It was the way that I thought, my perspective, my mindset. And so that's one of the things that I pride myself in, personally growing and then helping all of you guys do, is to change your perspective, to change your mindset. Because ultimately, excuse me, oh my. If you can change your mind, you can change your life, or changing your thoughts will change your reality. And so that's one of the things that is huge for me. I continually learn and grow and try to look at things differently, learn differently, so that I continue to move forward. And so one of the things with me that was huge is, for years, when I struggled to make progress, it was because I was identifying with someone that I no longer wanted to be, or someone that I used to be and wasn't necessarily moving fully into. So the easiest example for that would be either my problem with drinking or alcohol, smoking cigarettes, or being overweight because I liked junk food or fast food or whatever you want to call it. So for me, I was someone that's I really enjoy eating these things, and the more I told myself that, or the more I said that, or I believed that about myself, the harder it would be not to do those things. So if I was someone that truly enjoyed a big old fat burger, then not having it was hard. If I was someone that looked forward to having a beer after work, coming home and not having one was difficult. If I was someone that, sat in traffic and smoked cigarettes until my, fingers were brown because I didn't want to wait in traffic and I didn't know what else to do with my hands or my time or my mind, then not doing that would be difficult for me. But the moment that I decided that I was someone that was healthy, someone that liked to eat things that were good for me, someone that didn't have a beer on their drive home or every day, then it wasn't that much of a challenge anymore, because I was no longer identifying with someone that did those things. And as far as smoking goes, I know for a lot of people it's something that's very difficult to give up. But for me, it was one of those things where I identified as someone that smoked. It was funny because 2 or 3 days before I quit smoking, me and my brother were talking about how I could see myself smoking until old age. That I didn't understand how people would talk about how they needed or wanted to quit or this, that, whatever. It's me, I just leaned into it. It's hey, look, I'm someone that smokes cigarettes, I enjoy it. At that point, I was still healthy. I had cut way back on drinking. I had lost about 90 pounds of weight. I was eating better, this, and so for me it was that is just my one vice. So what if I smoked a cigarette every once in a while? But I was I could never see myself giving it up. And then a few days later, I had my last cigarette. I made the decision I was gonna go on a trip with some of my friends. None of them smoked. And so I was hey, look, if we're all gonna be together for a few days, I don't necessarily wanna hold them back. I'm not an inconvenience them by saying hold on, let me grab a cigarette. So I just decided for the trip I wasn't gonna smoke. And so for that whole trip, I didn't identify with someone that needed a cigarette. It wasn't prior to that, if I ever had a cup of coffee after every meal, as soon as I woke up, all of those events in my day were followed immediately by a cigarette. But for the trip, I was all right, it's a non-issue. I don't need a cigarette while I'm on this trip. And then during the trip, it wasn't an issue. I didn't feel the need to have one because I wasn't looking forward to it. I didn't build my day around it. And I came home and stuck with it. I actually thought it was funny because I was all right, if I keep this up for a couple of months, maybe I'll reward myself with a cigarette. So I hit my goal. I bought a pack of cigarettes. I smoked a few. I was yeah, this does nothing for me anymore. So then I just gave it up because I no longer identified with someone that needed a cigarette. I didn't have that, life built around it. And the same thing goes with food. It goes with improvement in all areas of your life. If you continue to label yourself as someone that struggles with their weight, you'll struggle with your weight. I did for years. I was someone that labeled myself as someone that loved certain foods or loved alcohol or any of those things. And I struggled with them for years as long as I identified with those. And the more that I identify with someone that is healthy, that is happy, and doesn't mean that like, I still drink and I still enjoy a burger, whatever, like that's fine. But I don't shape my identity or my life around someone that loves beer or loves big, greasy, cheesy, whatever food. I'm someone that takes pride in what I put into my body because I want to look and feel my best so that I can be my best for myself and for you guys. And so because that is a bigger part of my identity, it allows me to no longer struggle with wanting those things. And that's something that I wanted to share with you guys, something we work with our members or clients on. They come in and like, hey, look, I struggle with my weight. It's like, hey, look, not anymore. Not anymore. You used to. Everything that you did in the past was hard. Yes, like I don't try to pretend like anything is easy, but struggling with your weight is something that was you in the past. Now moving forward, you're awesome. You continually make progress. Yes, every once in a while we have hiccups, but it doesn't mean that you struggle with your weight. That means that you're always progressing, you're always getting better, you're always improving. And same with food. They walk in and say, I don't know, like, and my wife she used to say, like, when we first met, she's like, oh, I love this, but I'll never have abs because I love sweets too much. Now she has abs, and she still enjoys sweets, but her identity isn't built around loving sugar or sweets. So she still enjoys her sweet things, me being one of them. And she also has abs. So she has the best of both worlds because she no longer has her identity wrapped up in having to have sweet treats. And so like I said, when people come in to work with us, they say, hey, look, I'm someone that doesn't like the gym. So, well, maybe you were in the past, but not anymore. Identify with who you want to become, not who was holding you back in the past. So hopefully this helps. Like I said, step into that new identity, identify who it is that you want to become, what it is you're becoming, and that is who you are now, not someone that used to struggle with something else. Have a good one.